how many applications, roughly, have you done off of TikTok posting?
Across the board on all verticals, I would say we're probably about 40 now.
40.
Hmm.
Wow. And you don't really pay much for
I
your
don't pay at
social.
all. My name is Britney Garrison. I am 32 years old. I'm 32. Yeah, I'm 32. I am a wife, a mother. I have two small, little, cute little boys who are almost 4 and 18 months. And I'm from DC, born and raised. Went to school in Philadelphia, moved to Atlanta as soon as I graduated from college. A lot of people will say, "Why did you move to Atlanta?" And I truly don't have an answer. It was literally based off of pure vibes. But it turned out to be the best decision in my life because I met some individuals, and sorry, y'all, I am a fast talker. But I met some individuals who showed me a lot about business. I went to school for music. I majored in music. I have my master's in entertainment business. So that was the track that I was on. And when I moved to Atlanta, I worked at a studio and I was doing all the things and working with these artists. But I started to look at the people in the exec world and realized that I had a long way to go being 22, 23. And most executives were in their mid 40s. And I was like, dang, that's like a long time to be making money. So I ended up getting into the multi-level marketing space. That's what I was doing before insurance from 24 until I was 30. I was in multi-level marketing for a very long time, doing the same thing for a long time. And then due to just some changes in the company and obviously, for all my parents on the line, you move a little bit different before you have kids, and the way you operate and do a thing is a lot different when you don't have kids versus when you do. So at that point, insurance came upon my plate. What did people say? In network marketing, something just came across my desk. And it was insurance. And Marcus shared it with me. We were in business together for 7 years, working hand in hand. He had gotten to the business and I was very unattracted by it for years. And this one day, I feel like the stars aligned and what's meant for you is meant for you. And so in that time, it made sense and we locked in.
Brady, if you share as much as you want to share here, if you
Mhm.
don't mind, but how big did you build your organization and network marketing to before it collapsing? Because not thing you did, but other thing
Mhm.
management is doing.
Yes. So at our peak, this was like COVID time. We were at 4,100 customers. We had 12 six-figure and above earners regularly that were direct to us that we work with hand in hand to help them do that. But none of them had like sales experience prior to that, except for Marcus.
4,100 customers
Mhm.
and 12 people in your organization making over six figures a month or a year?
A month.
A month. Wow.
Oh, sorry, 6 figures a month. I'm sorry, a year. So it's 10 to $30,000 a month across the board.
And you're the leader of this organization.
Mhm. My
Where
husband and
the
I. Yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah. Don't forget about him too. So now you're making this move to insurance, making a move to insurance, and you've been with
Mhm.
us for the last maybe 2 or 3 months now. What's been
Mhm.
one of your main focuses this past 30 days? Like what are you doing to write these 5, 10 deals per week?
As of lately, it's been live transfers. I love just getting on the phone with somebody being there already. It is my thing.
Awesome. And then you're also using TikTok as well, correct?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's the part. Sorry. TikTok. We didn't rehearse, guys. Sorry. But yeah, TikTok has been like absolutely insane.
What are you posting on TikTok? I'm curious. Because for me, like my TikTok is not the best. So like what are you saying? How are you posting it? What
For sure.
hashtags?
Hashtags aren't really a big deal. The thing about TikTok, if you're an Instagram poster and you have not gotten on TikTok, TikTok has its own way of being, right? Like TikTok feels like you could sit on the couch with somebody and you're the expert. It's kind of like if you post on TikTok, you want your information to come across as I'm sitting at the table with a friend, or we went to the bar, we went to a restaurant. I'm sitting on the couch. It's very casual but educated. Like, who's the person? If you have somebody in your group, like my husband and I talk about this all the time. Who in your group is strong at what they do, right? Like, we have people who do taxes. We have CPAs in our friend group. We have friends who are in the legal field. We have friends that like in life insurance, health insurance. So there's everybody in our friend group has like their thing. And so when I have a question now about taxes and like how to make sure this makes sense and flows properly through my business, I go to my tax friend. But we're not talking like very strict business. And so that's the approach that I take with TikTok, is to really educate, but educate in an empowering way where it feels like I'm your friend. So by the time people are coming to me, the information, they already feel comfortable with the conversation because I feel like their friend. You're meeting a need, you're having conversations around stuff that they're thinking about that they don't want to talk about. When people are talking about like life insurance and health insurance and stuff, most people, I mean, and I come from a health space, so we started on the health insurance side. And if you don't have health insurance, most people don't want people to know that they don't have health insurance, right? Like, so when you're talking about that and you're having a conversation about it, it's like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this. And so it's really about the how you're having the conversation. TikTok is a place where you have to be very specific. You can't get on there ramble. You can ramble, but you can't ramble at the beginning. And I don't follow everybody, but if you want me to follow you, shoot me your, you could just drop your Joan in here, or y'all can follow me and I'll follow you back. But on Instagram, it's totally different. On Instagram, you can be more polished. On TikTok, you got to get to the point. And what I mean by to the point, and show of hands, who's gotten on making a video saying, hey guys, it's Britney, it's me, your favorite, whatever, whatever. Today we're going to talk about, you've talked for 15 seconds and nobody knows what this is for. We're gone from this. It's already over. On TikTok, if I'm doing a life insurance post, it's literally like, if you're a millennial and you're single and you're working and you don't have life insurance, here's why you need it. Or if you're a single parent or you're a stay-at-home mom and you think you don't need life insurance, let me tell you why you do. If you think you have no value here, and if something happened to you and you're a single, whatever, it's like who am I talking to? Y'all can write this down. Who am I talking to? That is the first part of the hook. If you're a this and you this, and then what I'm going to talk about, or watch this video. Like, I do a lot of Medicare because that's where we come from. My Medicare videos are simply, if you're turning 65, here's 3 things you need to know in order for you to avoid this Medicare mistake, or to save yourself thousands of dollars, avoid this penalty. So if I'm turning 65 and I'm doing Medicare and I'm getting ready for Medicare and I don't understand it, I need to know what she's about to say. Here's the easiest way that you can understand this. Like, those are the things that have gotten people, like the videos are popping off in regards to what people want. And now we've created some lead generation forms that will allow you to get the leads. One thing, like what KP was talking about, TikTok will allow you, if you don't use TikTok, y'all, I promise you, it is a gold mine. TikTok now allows you to add a lead form to your video. So like, I post a video and I finish everything and I'm like, if this makes sense to you or you whatever, click the get offer button below and I can this. Click the get offer button. And so now we've been able to generate our own leads through the platform just by them watching the video and having a place to go from there.
Okay. How many times are, and this is you guys get some good value from this, put some fire emojis in the chat. How many times are you posting per week? And how long are you making this content? Are you doing it all throughout the week, 5 hours a week, 1 hour per day, 30 minutes? Like, how long does it take to make this content?
So for everybody who feels like you might get overwhelmed by what I'm about to say, I had to challenge myself. If you're a consistently inconsistent person and you have like consistent spurts, this is for you. I am the person that knows what I need to do. And so I have to put myself in like a challenge, right? And my challenge to myself at the end of 2023 was I have to post every day. It don't matter. Like, I have to do it, because what you have to do is get in a habit. And with TikTok, you have to get in a rhythm of how to have the conversation, right? To how to get used to it. TikTok is something that you physically have to get used to how to do that. When I was at the main event and like somebody talked about You got ACA Clay who gets on there and he's talking about da 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 about ACA and health insurance. You got this person that's talking about retirement. Or I went to Pat Schmidt, he's talking about retirement. And I said, you know what? I'm from DC. The people in DC, they're losing their jobs. What are they going to do with their TSP accounts? And I straight went to ChatGPT and said, I need you to help me with this, y'all. And if you're not using ChatGPT to make content, you are taking too long. So essentially, I go through chat on Sundays. Everything that's in my brain, I dump it in the ChatGPT and I say, make me 10 videos for this week, 10 hooks, 10 viral hooks for TikTok. And then based off of that, we develop the script. I'm a script reader. So if you watch any of my content and you think I'm like really nasty with it, I'm literally reading it off of my phone because teleprompters work best. And as if you're a telesales agent, you should be able to do this perfectly fine because you're used to reading scripts, you know tonality, you know inflation. And so I treat myself like a voice actor. And then I come in, I try to shoot as many videos as possible on a Sunday or, after church, we knock out 5 videos. TikTok doesn't care what you got on. You can wear the same outfit for 10 videos straight, 20 videos straight, and nobody's looking at it any differently. I promise you, TikTok is like your best buddy, and it doesn't feel so much pressure. That's just me. But yeah, I try to spend at least an hour a day. And if I don't get a batch of videos at the beginning of the week, I have to do it every single day. So I try to do 9 o'clock is normally my time, but we got calls here. So I try to do it in the morning. And then the other thing is like, I don't want people to feel pressure like this. So one of the things that I tell people is like, you have to know what time works better for you. Before I had kids, nighttime was my best content time, right? When I only had one kid, actually. Nighttime worked best. When I put my son to sleep, I still have energy. I got 2 kids now. They're really little. They're high energy all the time. I don't have time for that. So now I realize my most productive hours is when I start my day. So if I don't get it done at the beginning of the day, it's not getting done. And if I want to be consistent, I have to do it at the time that works best. So you have to find your sweet spot in timing to make sure that you can do it. And if you don't have enough time, then you got to batch your content. You asked me something about how long the videos are.
No. You answered all the questions. So I have one more question for you before we conclude. How many applications, roughly, have you done off of TikTok posting?
Across the board on all verticals, I would say we're probably about 40 now.
40.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And you don't really pay much for
I
your
don't pay at
social.
all.
So 40 applications off of just pretty much putting out free marketing out on the web.
Yeah. The thing about social media marketing is people need to be informed. People need to be educated on complicated topics. That's why we have scripts. That's why we educate them on the difference between this and that. And when people feel like they understand, then they feel confident and comfortable with you. Like it's kind of like all the objections that we talked about at the beginning of the call, they don't exist. Like I had a girl last Friday. Me and Mike talked about her. I had a girl last Friday who was in my comments. I got a message from her, and she was like, "Hey, are you licensed in Texas? Because I saw your video. I need this." And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm booking you right now." And when I got on the phone with her, she literally said, "I have been delaying getting life insurance. I know I need it. I got 2 kids at home. Da da da." And she was like, "I came across your video, and this just felt right." And so there are people that are looking for you, but they don't know that you exist. You know what I mean? There are people that have they want information, and she said, I've been scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through multiple people. So there's a spirit on you and not to be deep, but an anointing on certain people, like all of us here, like that people are looking for you and how you do it, how you convey the messaging, how you speak to them, and then your spirit of who you are. There are people that come to me. Literally, I had an older lady on the Medicare side who just got enrolled last week. Same thing. She said, I saw you and I was literally working with somebody on this, but literally I was drawn to you. So, sometimes we'll hide ourselves because we don't feel like we do it this way, or this person is making more money, or the production is this, and I'm trying to get to here. But people want to hear from you, how you do it, the way you convey the messaging and your heart behind that. People will be drawn directly to you as a person. And so that's what I love about it. And that's why we haven't had to spend any money on that end, because now people are seeing it. So it just tells me every time I get that conversation and somebody says, I found you on TikTok, I was drawn to you, everything about you is what I want. So when they say like people buy you, not the product, I am officially in a place with TikTok where I'm like, oh, I got to make more content. Oh, like I'm sleep, because for a long time, especially on the ACA side, People are still responding to me on ACA from a video I posted December 2023. And when I say still, I mean like this morning on that video, the people are like, I need health insurance, right? And so there are people that are just specifically drawn to you. Social media content on TikTok is evergreen. TikTok is Google for people. If you use TikTok and you're like, I'm going to Columbus, and I need to know what restaurants, what's the best hotels. People do that on TikTok now. And if you think somebody's not on TikTok looking for final expense insurance, you are tripping because they're there.